Hi guys, Alice Taylor down here at Lytham Golf Academy, and today we're going to see have Titleist made the perfect hybrid. So guys, we've had TS2 and TS3 drivers for a while. Recently introduced TS1 and TS4, but in the hybrids in the fairway woods, we're just sticking with 2 and 3. So the idea of the hybrid is that it fits in underneath your shortest fairway wood and your longest iron. Now, for me, historically, I've always gone up to 3-iron, and I still have 3-iron in my bag. But I like the idea of the hybrid, maybe for that little bit more forgiveness than the 3-iron, and possibly that ability to hit that higher, softer one a little bit easier. So I'm going to start off with TS2. We're going to hit 5 Titleist Pro V1Xs on TrackMan, kind of give you a bit of feedback as to kind of what flight and distance I get, kind of the golfer that I think TS2 will be aimed at. I'm going to do the same with TS3, going to see kind of what the results are different-wise, if any, which model kind of I prefer, and maybe which of these models might best suit you as a golfer looking to put a hybrid in the bag. So TS2, certainly when you look at it from the bottom, you can see the weight much nearer the face, a much bigger footprint. So for me, it's looking a little bit more like a sleek fairway wood. I've got this one 19-degree B1 setting, so 19 degrees, but a bit more fade bias. And certainly when you pop it down behind the golf ball, looks quite big, I think, from front to back. So I think this is definitely aimed at the guy who's looking to launch the ball up in the air a little bit more, maybe get a little bit more spin on the shot for that higher, softer flight. So my little challenge with hybrids is, as much as you can play around with lie angles, it always feels like I'm going to hit the ball very left. I always find hybrids that kind of give me the number that I'm after. So probably the number I'm looking for with this hybrid, 3 wood carries about 250, 4 irons about 215. So something round about 230, 235. I don't mind a little bit of right to left, but I want a fairly neutral ball flight if I can. So let's go with TS2 and see how it performs. Oh, hello. We might have found a winner straight off the bat. So not too much shape. 236 carry. Now, I'll be honest, that was a surprise, because if I'm being honest, probably initially, I wouldn't say I love the look of that behind the golf ball, but if they all do that, that would be great. I mean, that was a good strike, very good little shape of shot. Shot 2. Ooh. And again, a little bit of a fade. Don't mind that at all with hybrid. And again, pretty much on the money. So certainly, currently I've got TS3 driver in the bag. So if I'm being honest, I was kind of not really hit any of these in warm-up. I was kind of expecting TS3 to kind of give me those shots. So a little bit of a surprise that TS2 has. But when we look on Optimizer after the 5 shots, it'll be interesting to see how kind of perfect that is for me. A little bit more cutty. Touch low off the face. But certainly for me, the fact that it doesn't feel at the moment, it does look like I could hit this left, but the fact that nothing's gone left, I actually really, really like that. That would be a big plus point for me. That one's a little pushy one that's going to cut. That's not a great swing. So that'll be interesting to see distance-wise. Still getting right out there. And one final one with TS2. It's probably more what I expected. Just very, very fractionally towards the toe, so maybe a bit of strike there. That was super long. Right, so let's look at some averages from TS2, but I think certainly for me, I love the fact that there wasn't really anything big left as a miss. Certainly the adjustability around the hosel of the club definitely helping. If you're someone that needs a little bit more of that, there's settings that can be dialed in there for you. But my instant impressions were, I really like the feel. Looks wise, I think it'd have to grow on me a little bit, but performance wise seemed very, very good. Right, so if we look at that, generally the strike was pretty centered, maybe just a little bit low on the club face, if anything. But we look there, 232 carry, pretty much what I would expect. It's saying there that maybe just a little bit low on spin, but I actually don't mind that. I think 3,500 would be pretty good. 107 feet peak height, very, very high. I'm getting some great ball speed out of that, and all in all, those are really, really good numbers. Right then guys, so I might have actually already found my perfect hybrid, but we're going to move from TS2 to TS3. Now, when we look at this very, very different looking hybrid, so much kind of thinner from kind of front to back, certainly what I like about this as well is when you look in the toe of the club, there's a little weight in the toe, so maybe just kind of going to make it even tougher to get that ball moving across to the left. Down behind the golf ball, I think this looks much more like a hybrid, and certainly visually I love the look at that, much more of a compact, kind of maybe squarer looking face. So again, I've got this set at B1 setting, so the same as I had TS2. Again, I'm looking for that round about 235 total. So let's hit some shots, and I'm kind of not sure that I can get much more performance out of this than I got out of TS2. But instantly, I do like the look of that behind the golf ball. So off we go. Now, straight away, a little bit more of a drawy one. That felt a bit more me there, though. So slightly toey. Not quite as far. Now, that definitely felt like I lost a little bit of performance with the strike. Certainly felt like it was slower off the club face than TS2. Again, definitely felt toey. Yeah, so again, not a destructive shot, but certainly don't feel I've been able to get quite the strike on this one than I did on TS2. And as a result of that, certainly feel-wise, hasn't quite been there yet. That felt more solid. I like that flight, just a little soft cut. 232, so again, right on the money for kind of what I'm looking for. Now, I just wonder with those, maybe whether they're just a little bit flat trajectory-wise. So, a couple more. That one was a bit toey again. Definitely that's going to contribute to that shape. Right, okay, so that's the one I do worry about with hybrid. Certainly the toe strike will have accentuated that. But one final one with TS3. A little pushy, cutty one. Okay, so yardage was about right, but certainly for me, didn't feel there was the same level of consistency. A little bit of that, I would say, down to the fact that I wasn't able to maybe strike it quite as well. But let's look at the averages and see how TS3 stacked up against TS2. Okay, so there we saw carry down at 229, so 228.4, total 250. So not a million miles off number what I was looking for, but certainly the strike was very, very slightly towards the toe. Now, as a result of that, I think with TS3 not being as forgiving, we saw my ball speed drop down a little bit. We saw the spin drop down, and therefore, and they were a little bit flatter. So it's funny, I kind of quite like the peak height on that, but certainly felt if my ball striking wasn't quite out the middle, that I maybe got a little bit exposed with TS3. Right then guys, so have Titleist made the perfect hybrid for me? Certainly I was surprised out of the two which one was best. Definitely TS2 I felt was that little bit more forgiving. kind of gave me a maybe just slightly too high a ball flight, if anything, but certainly ticked more boxes. Even if it didn't quite suit my eye on how it looked, TS2, probably about as close as I've ever been to putting a hybrid in the bag. I'm still not convinced I'm going to put either of them in the bag, but I think between the two models, they've got some really good selections on how the head plays differently, got all the different settings around the hosel. So if you are somebody who maybe struggles with those longer irons, with the different loft options available between TS2 and TS3, should be able to find something in there that really, really performs well for your bag. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like and share it, comment below, and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's video, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Make sure that you get my content as soon as it lands. Follow me on all my other social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.